Hello, my friends. It has once again been a while since I've been in front of the camera. Apparently I needed a longer break than I thought I did, but hopefully I'm back now. So it is currently Thursday, September 1st. Happy pumpkin spice season. It's truly the best time of the year. And I've already had my first pumpkin spice of the season yesterday, and it was amazing. So I want to get through as many books this month as I possibly can, because we're in the end of the year period now, and I need to get through these books on my shelf. So my plan this month is to not necessarily read a book a day, but I want to get through 30 books this month. I may not be completing all of these. The first step that we're working on today is looking at the shelves and trying to see what books we can get rid of. I want to do some unhauling, but unhauling is really hard for me. I don't know if I make it look like it's easy for me, but if you haven't noticed, all the books that I unhaul are books that I've already read for the most part. I never unhaul books that I haven't read. Not never, obviously I do, but like not often. It's really hard for me to give up on a book before I've read it, because obviously if it's in my possession, I had interest in it at some point. So yeah, and then I look at it and I'm like, I'm still kind of interested though, you know? So that's where we are right now. But like I said, 30 books in 30 days. I'm not necessarily going to be completing 30 books in 30 days, but I am going to be getting rid of 30 books off of my TBR in the next 30 days. So day one, we're gonna take a look at the shelves and see what I can part with. All right, here we are. This is the top shelf. This was one of the books that was part of my backlist that I was supposed to unhaul last year, but I decided to keep to like take things easy on myself, and I still have not read it. We are in September of 2022, and I still haven't even thought about reading it. So this is on the chopping block. This was another one of those same books. We have East by Edith Patu. So this is a book that, isn't this cute? Oh my goodness, look at this. I got this at Walmart. I got this one, and I got this one because I just thought they were perfect shelf decorations. Anyway, easily distracted here, but East by Edith Patu. I started reading this, actually. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on my channel, but I started reading this back in December of last year, and I wasn't feeling it, but I didn't get very far in. I didn't give it a fair chance, so I kind of want to try it out again, but it is on the chopping block. All right, what else do we have? I definitely want to get to all of these. And this candle, oh my goodness, I got this candle at Ross, I think it was. Look how beautiful that label is. I kind of don't ever want to burn it because it's just so pretty and it smells delicious. So yeah, anyway, oh, and this one, I gotta show you this one. I got this at Ross as well. How freaking cute is this? Okay, like this astrological skull candle. It's a candle, you guys. I bought two of them. Okay, I bought this one, which I'm never going to burn, and then I bought this one specifically to burn, and I'm obsessed with them. I think there were like 3 of them at the store, and I really wish that I had gotten all 3, but I got 2. Anyway, back to the task at hand. Okay, so the Golem and the Ginny. I don't know if I'm interested in this, and I originally picked this up because I think someone commented this as a recommendation, and I immediately went out and picked it up, but I did not immediately read it. So there's that. There's also the Left-Handed Booksellers of London. I don't know, I'm just not feeling it. Like, it sounds like such a cool concept, which is why I've held on to it for so long. Okay, Prosper's Demon. I don't think I mentioned this either, but I actually tried reading Prosper's Demon, and I got about halfway through, and I just really wasn't enjoying it. And at the time I was going through like somewhat of a reading slump, so I thought maybe it's just my mood. I'll hang on to it and we'll see how I feel about it later on. But I have no desire to go back to it. I don't think I enjoy this author's writing. You know what? I think we found the first book that we can just go ahead and unhaul. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna unhaul that one. All right, we are down at the second shelf. Let me move my phone. Let's see, we've got this one. I don't think that this is exactly what I thought it was. I didn't realize when I bought this that it was a memoir moment. I kind of thought it was something different. I'm still kind of interested, so I might give this a try, but it's on the chopping block. Okay, what else do we have? What else do I have? What have I been holding on? Okay, you know what? This one. Black Noir. I picked this up because I saw someone talking about it, and I thought that this would be a great way to sample some authors, to see, you know, get a little snippet of their work. It is a collection of noir, mystery, crime, and suspense fiction by African-American writers. These are all the authors here, if you want to take a look. I just have had no desire to pick this up. I really haven't. I think I might just get rid of this. I really have no desire to read it. Oh, I started reading this earlier in the month, and then I put it down because I was bored. But I didn't get very far in, so I think I'm gonna hang on to it. We're gonna try it out. Okay, this Sally Rooney book. This is an arc of Beautiful World, Where Are You? I've never read anything by Sally Rooney, and I honestly don't think that, like, she doesn't appeal to me as an author, and none of her books have ever sounded interesting to me. So I don't know why I've kept this. Should we try it? Okay, well, that's a possibility. Okay, and then if we come down here, these are the last few books that were purchased prior to 2022, and then the rest of these I purchased this year, which I'm not going to be getting rid of. So let's see. I'm still very interested. Oh, hold on. There's Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. This time last year, I read half of this book via audio. I didn't really enjoy the audiobook, and I think that might have been part of my problem. So I actually put this in a unhaul pile, and right when I was getting ready to film the unhaul video, I took it out and saved it and was like, actually, I kind of want to give it another shot. So this month we're going to be giving it its second and last chance, and honestly, a big part of it is because of the beautiful cover. This is one of the most gorgeous books I own, and I don't want to get rid of it for that reason. Is that a valid reason to keep a book? No, but here we are. And the rest of these I am definitely interested. Although this one, All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman, I have gotten less and less interested in as time has gone on. I have not heard anyone talk about this, to tell you the truth. And I haven't like looked up reviews or anything, so I have no idea how this book has been received. And I'm not sure, am I still interested? Like, I am. But I think this is one that we should give a try this month as well. This is the TBR for the first week of September. 10 books. So probably won't get to all of them this week if I plan on reading all of them through, but this is gonna kind of be like an unhaul project. I mean, the point is to get rid of as many of these as I possibly can. I do have the audiobook for The Golem and the Ginny, and I know that this is historical fantasy. I think it's more so historical fiction than fantasy, and those always work better for me on audio, so I think I'm going to try this one out on audio. I have the audiobook for East. I do have the audiobook for The Unspoken Name as well. So I think I'm going to just start fresh today and start reading this and see how it goes. It is a few hours later, and I am partway through chapter 4 of The Golem and the Ginny. I didn't read the synopsis before I started this. So it was interesting to find out that the Golem is a lady. So we follow this man who decides that he wants a wife and decides to create the perfect wife. To go to someone and ask them to create a golem that will obey him and be his perfect woman, essentially. And so she gets created, but when he awakens her, he dies of like appendicitis or something. And so she was made to anticipate his desires and to carry them out. And now that he's dead, she has the ability to hear everyone's desires and has this like initial reactionary response to fulfill those. So that is interesting. So we're following her, but then we're also following this guy in New York in a shop that discovers this vessel. He's a blacksmith that contained a genie. And the genie has awakened now after 1,000 or so years to find that he doesn't know why he was enslaved, who enslaved him, and he's trying to figure out life now. So I don't know how the two stories intersect. I'm sure they will at some point. Both the Golem and the Genie now are in New York City. And And it's told in this very literary, philosophical way, which is not always my thing, but sometimes is. I'm finding the story interesting enough. I don't have a lot to go off of after 3.5 chapters, so I'm gonna keep going and probably give it, because I'm like 50 pages in at this point, probably give it another 50 pages before I decide whether or not I want to continue or not. So I will keep you informed, but I'm not particularly drawn to it or against it at this point. It's just kind of a story so far. So we'll see what happens. Good morning, fam. So I said fam. I've never said that before. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, it's the next day. It is the 2nd. I forgot to update you yesterday, but I did make a decision regarding the Golem and the Ginny. So this is absolutely fine. I don't necessarily think it's for me. There were some just like narrative choices that are not my favorite, and I was a little bored. So I did continue to read this throughout the day and the evening. I got, I think, more than 100 pages. There's a lot of people to follow. There's a lot of people surrounding these two characters, the Golem and the Ginny. We definitely get more from their perspective so far anyway. Like, obviously I didn't read the whole book, than the Golem and the Ginny. It's kind of one of those things where you'll meet a new character in a scene with your main characters, and then the next chapter will be their entire backstory, their life story. It's not a thing that I usually enjoy. There obviously have been cases, like there's an exception to every rule, where I have enjoyed it or didn't mind it as much, but that's something that I really don't enjoy. And I will say that I was listening to the audio of this, and I think if you're gonna read this, do it physically. The audiobook narrator is amazing. It's not that, it's just that there's so many names, people, characters, there's a lot going on, and I was getting a little bit confused, and I'm the kind of person who, even the most convoluted of plots, I don't usually get confused. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this one down. I'm officially DNFing it. I'm officially taking it off of my TBR, so we do have one book down for day 1. And then I went ahead and started on the book for today, last night, which is East by Edith Patu. I went ahead and started from the beginning, and I didn't get very far in. It was the end of the night. I was tired. I didn't read very much, like maybe the first 2 chapters, so I don't really have a lot to say about it yet. So I'm going to continue to listen to this one today. I'm doing the audiobook, and see how this goes. Good morning. It's been a couple days. It is now Tuesday the 6th, and I took a couple days off reading, but I'm back with an update. So last time we spoke, I think I was just starting this, or maybe, I don't know if I told you anything about this, I cannot remember, but I finished this the same day, and I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It was really good. I must have known at some point, but probably forgot that this is a East of the Sun, West of the Moon retelling, and while I'm not like 100% familiar with that story, I think like Beauty and the Beast is partially inspired by that, is it not? So it's a story that is very familiar to me, and it was cozy and familiar. This is also a great book to read during the winter because it's very cold and icy and just awesome. So because I don't remember if I told you about this, I'm just gonna tell you about it again potentially. This follows Rose. Rose is a North child, and in this world, Northborn Northborn children are like very adventurous. She is no different. She longs for adventure in the great wide somewhere, and she ends up getting the opportunity when a polar bear comes to her door one day and asks her to go away with him. If she does, then her family will be very well off. Her sister, who is sick and possibly dying, will be healed. And so she does, and then sets off on this romantic adventure with this polar bear and goes on this quest to fix things. And it's really good. It was a really cozy, really fun story. And it was well written. I liked the character Rose and the other characters that we meet along the way. I liked the magic in here. There's, you know, the typical breaking of a curse. And I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 3 stars. I'm really glad that I read it and didn't unhaul it. So there's that. There is a sequel to this called West. I don't know that I'm interested in reading it. Maybe I will one day, but this was a very well-contained, satisfying story. And then I immediately picked up with The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix, which is another one I was thinking of getting rid of. And I have decided to keep reading it because I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm not too far in, but so far we are following Susan. This takes place in 1983, I think it is, in the 80s. Susan has recently moved to London before she started college or university or whatever. And because of circumstances, ends up coming into contact with a left-handed bookseller named Merlin. Went to London early so that she could try to find out more about her father, because her mother hasn't really told her much about her father and she wants to try to find him. And it seems like her father is possibly some kind of supernatural entity, and she learns about this whole society of booksellers that are actually supernatural hunters, protectors of the world. And now things are after her, and so she's under the protection of the booksellers, but also there might be a little bit of romance between her and Merlin. It's yet to be seen, but it's just so fun and cheeky, and I really like it so far. I like the writing style. I'm enjoying the story. I'm listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook is excellent. So I started this, then like took a couple days off of reading, and now plan to get back to this today. We'll see if I can finish it. I have a pretty busy day today, but hopefully I can get through at least most of it. This is probably gonna be chaotic, this vlog, because I just realized I filmed a video the other day, which was like a recent reads wrap up, and I hated the way it turned out, and I really don't feel like refilming it, but I still want to talk about those books that I have read. So I'm gonna talk about them in this vlog, just like randomly, or maybe throughout the month, because there's like 9 or 10 of them. So a book that I read recently that I want to talk about right now is The Change by Kirsten Miller. It's a thriller, and it was excellent. This is probably going to be one of my favorite books of the year. I gave it 5 stars. This is about 3 women who are at a certain age in their lives where they're going through the change or menopause, and they've discovered that they have these amazing powers. So one of them is basically a witch, like a green witch. She's in her garden and she can make things happen to people, okay? And then we have another woman who has the ability to speak to the dead, and the dead are calling out to her. And then we have another woman who can like channel her hot flashes into power, like fiery, melt your skin power. It's so awesome. And these 3 women come together to take down men who have harmed women, who do terrible, despicable things, and get away with it because they're rich and powerful and white. And it is, like, I'm not saying that this is a perfect book, but for me, like, any flaws that it had was completely overshadowed by how fucking awesome it was. I was constantly smiling, nodding, yelling, pumping my fist in the air while reading this book. It was so good. Honestly, pick it up. It's perfect. I don't want to say too much about it. I will say, like, check content warnings before you pick it up for sure. I will definitely be talking more about it in like a quarterly wrap up, because it's definitely going to be in my top books of the year for sure. So there's that one. Next time I see you, maybe I'll talk about another one and we'll just get through them that way, if that's okay. Good morning, friends. Is it still morning? Good afternoon? Really? It's the next day. It's Wednesday. Jesus. Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Don't have much of a reading update for you. Very impulsively, decided to go swimming yesterday with the kids, and we had a great time. We've recently found this local spring watering hole park area, and it's so lovely. Like, the water is beautiful. It's so beautiful out there, and we're just having a blast. Unfortunately, we found it late in the season because it's obviously the end of summer now, but we're trying to get in as much swimming as we can. Don't have much of a reading update because I didn't get to reading, and I was exhausted after coming home from swimming because, like, it's deep, you know, there's like nowhere to rest. So I am in the middle of chapter 17, so I'm about this far into the book. I am hoping, once again, I know I said this yesterday, but I'm hoping to finish it today. Oh my god, I just got my hair cut. I didn't mention, hello, hi. I just got my hair cut today. I'm in love with it. Like, I'm literally obsessed. I don't know how I didn't lead with that. I feel like I look completely different, so I don't know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Do you like it? I love it. I have no idea when I'm gonna stop messing with my hair, but I think I like this. I like what's happening here. So I think we're good for now. But yeah, I got it cut today. So happy. Anyway, I am all over the place. I apologize. I'm gonna try to finish The Left-Handed Booksellers of London. So far so good. Still really enjoying it. I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but like ignore my messy desk in the background, but there's like the central mystery of who Susan's father is, because we know that he's some kind of supernatural being and apparently a very old and ancient and powerful one, but we don't know who he is, so we're trying to figure out who he is, what he wants, what her power could potentially be, and why everyone in the supernatural world is after her now. So that's been interesting. It's funny and it's adventurous and it's just like lighthearted and a little wacky, and I really like it. I really like the style of it. I like the writing. I like the characters. I'm having a great time. So good. So far, so good. Also, I recently, oh, it's over there. Hold on. Finally, my July adult fairy loot came. So obviously it's September and I should have gotten it a long time ago, but it never came. So I contacted them and I'm like, hey, my box never came. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Let's find out what happened to it. Apparently it got lost. And they're like, but don't worry, we'll cover it. We'll send you another one if you want. And I'm like, yes, I want. And it came super fast. Like I just got the email this morning that it had been shipped, and then went to track the package and it said it was delivered yesterday. So that's nice. So you've probably already seen the July book. I have two because I couldn't avoid spoilers so late in the game, but it's Demigods and Donuts is the theme. Let me carefully take this out to avoid getting the little squiggly things everywhere. Oh, I was just upended the box. All right, here we go. Look at those beautiful edges. Oh my god, am I in focus? Okay. It is The Undertaking, hold on, I should move, block the sunlight. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. This is the cover. Ooh, very pretty. These are the sprayed edges. Look at those sprayed edges. Is it focusing? Hopefully. Oh my god. Beautiful. Oh, they're roses, but they have little skulls. Do you see that? How freaking cute is that? Oh my god. And papers. Glorious. And the naked hardcover. Absolutely stunning. Love it. So this is a fantasy romance, I think. The House in the Cerulean Sea meets You've Got Mail in this quirky, refreshing fantasy with a rom-com worthy twist. Okay. Hart is a marshal tasked with patrolling the magical wilds of Tanria. It's an unforgiving job, and Hart's got nothing but time to ponder his loneliness. Aw. Mercy never has a moment to herself. She's been single-handedly keeping Birdsall and Son undertakers afloat in defiance of sullen jerks like Hart, who seem to have a gift for showing up right when her patience is thinnest. Oh, so is it kind of like a hate to love type thing? That sounds good. I'm so happy that I finally got my copy, and shout out to Fairy Loot for just like having really amazing customer service and taking care of the problems super quickly. Love that for me and them. So yeah, I feel like a completely new person. With this new haircut. I'm living and loving right now. But I'm gonna get back to editing my fall TBR and hopefully get that up today before I need to go to work. The next time I update you will be once I have finished The Left-Handed Booksellers of London, for sure. Because we are so behind on the whole book a day thing. It's not even funny. So that didn't quite work out this week, but we've got the whole month. We've got the whole month still, so I'm gonna stay hopeful and positive. Good morning, friends. It's Thursday, and I finally just now finished The Left-Handed Booksellers of London. I had a great time with this. It is action-packed. It's funny. It's one big adventure, and I had a blast reading this. I loved the characters in here. Both Merlin is such a quirky, interesting, but still very well developed and multi-layered character, and Susan is just hilarious and fun and relatable, and I really enjoyed my time. I gave it 4 stars. This is YA technically, but feels very mature, and I'm glad that I gave it a shot. This is why it's so hard for me to unhaul books that I haven't read. I do have another book that I didn't even mention that I started. I started this the last day of August, believe it or not. And it's a novella, okay? It's only 200 and something pages, if that. Yeah, it's not even 200 pages. It's 150 pages. And I have not finished it yet, which is crazy and wild for me, and I'm absolutely loving it. This is A Psalm for the Wild-Built by Becky Chambers. This is her Monk and Robot series. We're following a monk named Dex who has gotten a little bored with the routine of their life at their monastery and has decided to become a traveling tea monk and kind of find themselves. And while they're out in their travels into the wilderness, because in this world we have this planet where humans are mostly concentrated in one large city, and hundreds of years ago the robots of the world gained sentience, gained consciousness, and decided that they didn't want to work for humans anymore. And the humans were like, yeah, sure, here's half of the planet, go do your thing, we'll leave you alone. And they just completely rebuilt their world, letting the robots do their own thing while they are more like Earth focused. It's actually a really beautiful concept. No one has seen a robot in hundreds of years, so no human alive even knows what they look like, what life was like with them. But as our tea monk Dex goes out into the wilderness, stumbles across a robot named Moscap, and Moscap wants to know, what do humans need? He's just checking in, and the two of them are going on this adventure together to get their questions answered. And it's such a beautiful story. I am this far in, so I'm close to finishing. I'm 102 pages in, and it's so beautiful, and in typical Becky Chambers style, it's just really cozy, really comforting. It's really character driven. There's a lot of interesting themes and amazing conversations, and I'm having a blast. But I did kind of put it on the back burner for a while because I started this project, and also because I just haven't had the time. I've been crazy busy and exhausted and haven't been focusing on reading it. Otherwise, I definitely would have finished this already. But I'm gonna pick it back up today and finish it so I can get at least one more book read during this week, because I feel bad. But I did mention earlier in the vlog that I want to talk about some of the other books that I have read, because I don't want to do a separate wrap-up recent reads video. So the next book I have on my list, Part of Your World. Let me go grab it actually. So this was one of the books on my Magical Readathon TBR, and I did get to it. I think it was like the first book I read in August. Part of the Disney Twisted Tales series. This follows Ariel, and the twist to it is, what if Ariel had never defeated Ursula? So basically, Ursula ended up continuing to parade as Vanessa, married the prince. Ariel, still without her voice, and her father, Triton, being turned into a polyp by Ursula, ends up going back to Atlantica and ruling as queen. So this takes place 5 years after what would have been the events of the original Little Mermaid. And let me take this out because I feel like I'm not hearing myself. Anyway, this takes place 5 years after those events. And we get to see Ariel as this more mature, more well-rounded, more thoughtful person. And it's such an interesting perspective to get, because we know that the Little Mermaid we know is very impulsive and adventurous and led with her feelings and fell in love with this prince that she barely knew. And now she's approaching a relationship, hopefully, with the prince in this more mature state, having been ruler of Atlantica for all these years, and just having grown so much as a woman, and still dealing with all the trauma that she went through with Ursula losing her father. The story gets started in this particular story when the seagull, Scuttle the seagull, notices that Prince Triton might still be alive, because all this time Ariel thought he was dead. And so she sets on land again because now she has all the power of her father. And she can give herself legs whenever she wants. So she goes back on land to try to figure out where her father is and how to help him and ultimately defeat Ursula. And it was really good. I really liked it. We got a perspective from the prince, which was really interesting because we never know shit about the princes in these Disney movies because it's all focused on the princesses, and then they just, you know, fall in love with these men for no reason because they don't really spend any time with them. I like what this did. I like how it expanded on the story. I liked the characterization. I liked the action in here. I liked the story. I thought it was really well done, and I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. And then very, very quickly, I'm gonna go over these two. This was another one that I read for the Magical Readathon. This is Alpha, Volume 1 by Olivia Blake. It is I really can't say too much about it because it's so short. It's only like 50 pages, and it's a sci-fi fantasy, this girl who gets taken away from her family because there's something special about her. And she ends up going to this facility where she studied and where she starts training for something. And I really can't say much more than that. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. Even though it's not a lot of story, the story that we did get was very, very intriguing. And I am very interested in reading the 2nd volume. I'm just kind of worried because there is only 2 volumes and I'm pretty sure that the story is not going to wrap up, so I don't know if I want to continue and like torture myself in that way, but I gave it 4 stars. And then I also read 4 Aunties in a Wedding, just because I wanted to. It wasn't part of the readathon, and I liked it a lot. So if you don't know, this is the 2nd book to Dial A for Aunties, which was a 5-star for me. I absolutely loved it. This is not so much a cozy mystery, more so cozy crime series, because in the first book we're following Meddy and her aunties, and Meddy accidentally kills her date, who was an asshole. She calls her aunties and they help her to cover up, hide the body and take care of all that, and then hijinks ensue. It's hilarious. Like, it was so funny. I was expecting the same over-the-top crazy good time from this one, and I did get that to an extent. It was definitely funny. There was just something about this that was missing from the first book. It was overly convoluted and crazy, but so was the first book. So like, I don't know why it didn't work as much in this book as it did for me in the first book. I think maybe because it was just like more of the same. I don't know. I feel like the circumstances of the first book were just so good, even though they were over the top and ridiculous, and it was so much funnier. This one, not as good, but still had a good time with it. I gave it 4 stars. So a few more books wrapped up. It's literally like 5 minutes later. So this is probably the most exciting package of the year. Okay, this is the August Fairy Loot, and we know that the book in here is Babble by R.F. Kuang. I have no idea. I need my glasses on. I don't know why I took them off. I can't see if I'm in focus. So sorry if there's a glare. Babble by R.F. Kuang is in here, and I'm dying. So let's open this up. Arcane History. Hi, if you don't know, Babble is my new favorite book of all time. Definitely my favorite book of the year. I do already have a physical copy. I picked up the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which looks like this. Beautiful, beautiful cover. So this is like basically just the standard edition. I'm so excited to see what Fairy Loot has done with this book. Oh my god. Okay, so let me get the squiggles off. I see black sprayed edges. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you can see, it's kind of got the same things in the background. We have the Tower of Babel on the back of this. Oh! Holy shit. I did not see those sprayed edges. Do you see this? Look at those edges. Are you kidding me? It's got the tower on the... Oh. That's so beautiful. I just love the silver, gold, gray going. Oh my god. Look at the... I'm sorry, I'm gasping so much. Look at the end papers. Oh my god, that's Victoire. And that's Letty. Was that her name? Letty? Okay, and then we probably have the boys in the back. Yes. Oh, we've got Robin and Remy. Oh, Remy. Oh my god. Oh, look at them. This is gorgeous. This is, oh my god. And then we have the naked hardcover. This is what it looks like. There's the spine. There's the back. Oh my god. This is a sexy book. Like, come on. I love the dust jacket. I really do. I was expecting something a little bit different, but I still really love it. But I think I'm gonna have to display it on my shelf naked because it's just so damn sexy. They did an amazing job with this. I was a little bit disappointed because I have seen Illumicrate unboxings. Illumicrate did Babble for their box this month, or in August, and it's a slipcase edition and it's absolutely freaking stunning. And I'm like, oh my god, like how is Fairy Loot gonna top that? But it's fine because this is absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. I do have another edition of Babble coming from Fox and Wit, I think the company is called, and I'm excited for that one as well. But this is everything. And of course it is, oh, but that's so cool. It has a silver bar that says Babble, R.F. Kuang. The silver bars are a big part of the story if you haven't read Babble yet. But there's the signature by Miss Kuang. Oh, look at it. I'll just set it right there. Hello my friends, it is time to end this vlog. I have no idea what this vlog looks like because I have not started editing it. And I don't really know how much I updated you. I've had a crazy past 2 weeks. This was supposed to be a weekly vlog. It's been over 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. So let's wrap it up. Let's talk about all the books that I read. So I started off by DNFing The Golem and the Ginny by Helen Wecker. Absolutely nothing wrong with the story, just knew that it wasn't for me pretty early on, and I was a little bored by it. And then I moved on to East by Edith Patu, and I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. A very lovely East of the Sun, West of the Moon retelling. I then read The Left-Handed Booksellers of London by Garth Nix, and this was just a wild ride of a time. It was so much fun. I did give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Finally, I finished A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. It took me 14 days to read this 147 page novella. Don't ask me why. I absolutely loved it. I gave it 5 stars. It's a warm hug of a book. I feel like all of her books are. I say all, even though I've only read this and one other book by her, but very excited to continue reading more Becky Chambers. I loved this. It was sweet. It made me cry in the end. I love Dex and Mosscap so much, and I am so excited to pick up the second book and see where their adventure goes next. This was just so relatable. There were so many amazing quotes in here. Just the theming of this was kind of exactly what I needed at the moment. Not the very eventful week-ish, 2 weeks really, that I wanted to have, but that's okay. Hopefully I'll read a ton more next week. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Talk to me down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you want to let me know that you are here and you don't have anything to say, leave me a robot emoji for Mosscap, the robot. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!